All right. Here we are once again. What's going on, people? This is Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. I am End Time. Let me just warn you, if I'm not going as fast as I usually do when I speak, we'll be explaining why in a little bit. But I want to introduce, as always, the people that don't need really any formal introduction. And I'm thankful that are here in this last podcast for 2021, even though we have not been on the mics since July.
Whoa.
Since July of this year. And again, we got some explaining to do for those of you guys who do follow us. Hit us up here on the channel at dramafreegaming.com / or YouTube or whatever. You get the drill. Or over at anchor.fm, DFG podcast. Go check us out on those platforms as well. I'll do a better job. We're a little rusty, but let's say what's up to Dark Dad. What's going on, Dark Dad? Jay, talk to these people.
I'm gonna talk to y'all. How y'all doing? It's been a while. I missed you. I've missed the banter between the fellas. It's been a while. Thank you guys for having me back. Thank you.
Now Jay sounding kind of tame because before we went live, he was he was spit fire.
Don't worry. I do want to say though, since he gave me a nice introduction, I'm going to say this. If I know those of us, or not us, but those of you that heard me or let's listen to this podcast and listen to us talk, I'm usually the one that usually spits fire, but I've kept my language kind of on the reserve side. But this time I ain't doing that no more.
Okay.
You know, I'm bringing in the new year, do it a new way. I ain't trying to, I ain't gonna be holding nothing back. I'm gonna go ahead and if I got to beat a dragon out here, then damn it, I'm gonna beat a dragon.
Okay. Well, I think we're getting a little taste of what 2022 might be bringing us as far as what we can expect from Jay. But I'll tell you guys, Jay has been Jay all his life, so ain't nothing new. If he's just pulling the curtain back a little bit more, that's okay. Let's jump over to Henyo. Henyo, what's going on, brother? Talk to these people.
What's up, man? Glad to be back. I'm super excited. I've been dying to talk some gaming with someone all by myself here, so I'm super excited to be back online.
All
Glad you're back online.
myself.
That's my theme song.
Yeah,
Glad
man.
to be on that.
It's good to hear your voice, man. It's good to hear you guys, and I know we've been hit and miss, but guys, just at the top of this hour, before anything, I want to thank everyone, and I mean everyone and anyone, whether you're brand new here, this is your first time listening to this particular podcast. We are a gaming podcast, but more than that, we do life together. We talk about family, we talk about what's going on in our lives. We might not get deep into things, but we keep it drama free, we keep it real, and we're a bunch of gray heads. And what I mean by that is we've been on the video game scene for quite some time. So we each have our own exposure and you might say experience and maybe a little bit of expertise in particular gaming genres and eras. And one thing I think we can agree on, guys, is that there's nothing new under the gaming sun, right? We've seen it. We've been there.
Oh.
And innovation is it's coming, but there's not really anything that has, at least in my opinion, has wowed me. Anything jump out at you guys, and maybe to narrow it down, this year, 2021. What do you think? Has there been anything innovative, whether new technology, new piece of hardware, software, a game, a concept? Just jump right in. Anything that's caught your eye.
All right, let me be real with y'all first and foremost. 2021 gaming has been absolute straight bullshit.
Pray do tell.
I'm being 100% honest. I I think gaming has not innovated at all whatsoever. I think the only innovation we've really truly had in gaming is the fact that we had a younger generation complaining and bitching about gaming too much. That's what I see right now. I mean, yeah, we got newer, powerful systems, but at this point, I've been through the newer, powerful system so much in my life at this point that nickel ain't shiny no more.
Mm.
It really ain't. I mean, how many times can you go, we have the powerful system? All right, cool. I heard that for the last 35 years. Like, so is there anything you can do or show me or bring to the table that is gonna make me go, yeah, I need that.
Mm.
Like, we got Halo Infinite that's, on the scene. And I got one thing to say to that. And it's Halo. I shoot people. I'm the Master Chief. Ooh, it has new multiplayer. And I hate to say it, it's the same shit. So you guys, anybody, if you want to defend Halo, I'm with you. You have your opinion, it's cool. But gaming for the last couple years now ain't nothing but it's just been a big rehash.
Mm.
And that's just how I feel right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on the I'm on the other side of that coin there with excited about some of the hardware that we got to kind of hopefully open up the doors for newer type of gaming, right? We grew up with semi mediocre graphics because we didn't have the hardware in place. So while we had a plethora of good games, but with weak graphics, the hardware has caught up. We got fast, drive technology. We got, video card technology now that's, really setting, new precedents. So it has to usher in the new gaming, right? Because now we don't have no excuses of, can we get a good game now, right? Now the floodgates have been opened with the hardware, and that's what was exciting to me this year, and maybe a year back now to see some of this new hardware, being ushered in. And now hopefully what I look forward to in the next year is hopefully the developers because now not worry so much about hardware restrictions and kind of open up the storytelling and the gameplay and letting these these good games finally come out.
Okay.
Uh, may I
Yeah. No, no.
jump
Go
in that
ahead.
one
Jump
for
right
a
in.
minute? Hey Henyo, so you said like system, like you've been gaming, you got a little bit more salt and pepper in your head than I do. I'm fairly sure of that. So you're telling me from, I'm going to give you Atari since you were pretty much there when Atari was the grandiose from Atari till now.
Mm.
You telling me like it's just no, like I know the innovation is a new thing, but in my opinion, retro gaming is still number one. There is nothing that you can tell me right now. You can't name a game right now, modern time, that I can't counter with retro. That's already been done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been plenty of rehash and everything's been remastered and re-graphic, repackaged and stuff like that. And this is what I'm saying that hopefully some of this newer hardware will kind of allow more more flexibility when it comes to opening up the genres of gameplay more storytelling, being able to fit more content into the package of of the game. I'm not pointing out anything in particular. I'm just saying that we're kind of there's more wiggle room in the hardware respect to kind of we're not subjected to just certain hardware that's going to restrict what a game looks like and how much content of it could be stored in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm kind of referring to, and the graphic, as far as, old school gaming, that's always there for us. I don't think, nothing in that will be able to ever change that. I think the nostalgia of that will always be there for us to, go back and revisit even till now. There's certain games I always love to go back and play, and you're no stranger to that. But as far as what comes new about the new hardware that we get, that's what I look forward to.
We were talking before we went live with you guys, and Henya was sharing and piggyback on this because I like the perspective that you two guys are giving here, and I think that we can agree with both. At least I can agree with both. As far as gaming, the essence of gaming, the substance of gaming, we've seen a lot of remastered and remakes and resets and whatever the re's you want to put in front of it. And because of the hardware, because of the tech that we have seen some leaps and bounds, even in some of our classic, retro gaming that we've done. I mean, I'm playing, for instance, I love Pac-Man. I love Miss Pac-Man. And I get thrills playing Miss Pac-Man on my Series X. Does it look better? Does it play better? Maybe not, but just being able to play it on brand new, 2020, 2021 hardware, bringing that forward, and not the game being stuck to one console or one piece of hardware, I think that's great. But it's still a retro game, that I'm still getting joy from, and I go back to time and time again. Games like, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking like another game that I played a lot on the 360, Castle Crashers. You guys ever played that game?
Yeah, that game was awesome.
Yeah, the Castle Crashers is a very, simplistic game. It was great. Recently I went back to and I popped in Comic Jumper on the 360, and playing it on my new Series X. I was like, dang, this game looks great. But it's a 360 game. Crazy Taxi for the 360, which was a Dreamcast game. Playing games like that. But a lot of these games, and not in particular the ones that I just named, but Xbox has done a good job, continues to do a good job with going back, because of the hardware that we have now, and increasing the frame rates, increasing the resolution, tightening up, maybe the controls on it and stuff. And then we're able to go back and enjoy it. Can we find somewhere in a plethora of what we've been playing, has anything stood out in 2021, whether old or whether new, that you've actually enjoyed?
Outrun remake on the Switch.
Outrun remake on the Switch. Okay, Outrun. Okay, I'm with you. Why on the Switch?
Because first off,
I'm just setting you up. It's a softball.
This brother called me, right? Yo, man, did you get that Outrun for Switch? What you talking about? Yo, man, they remastered Outrun on the Switch. Did they really? It's cheap too. All right, man. I went and got it, and I was like, why though? Why you tell me that? I wouldn't slaughter Outrun on Switch. It was real fun.
Yeah,
it's your fault in time.
The game modes on it, the music. Right?
Yes, sir.
You gotta admit, it was better than the arcade one-up that you have in your house.
Yes, it does.
Right?
I can't even front. I got them both. I have the Outrun arcade and the Outrun remaster on Switch. Yeah, it's the Switch is so much better
on the Switch.
Is Sega Ages Outrun? Is that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's specifically under that banner, the Sega Ages. There's a bunch of games that were developed under that banner, and they're good to go, man. I mean, the developers there that are putting those licenses back out there, which I don't know what Sega's thinking about. That's a whole other topic for a whole other podcast. But there's so many games, so many good games, and definitely Outrun was worked on. The music, the gameplay, the additions to it, the unlockable stuff there. It just, for a game, again, in our generation, a game that I put a lot of time into, and from time to time I go back. I even went out and got one of those Mario Kart steering wheels so I can play it with the steering wheel.
Okay, you're doing too much now.
And it's a lot of fun.
You're doing too much.
And you can still switch the radio station in the car.
Uh-huh. Yeah, man.
I mean, I recommend it for anybody. Seriously, if You want something retro? You like Outrun? Who did it anyway? Was that M2?
Yes, of course. Of course. And if
Because
you don't know the story of M2, look at them up on YouTube. The documentaries on that. It's great. It's great. Those developers are top notch.
I want to give a special shout out to Blue Point and M2
Mm-hmm.
because Blue Point and M2 have really done a lot for retro gaming. And I am a big retro gaming head, and Blue Point has redone a lot of games. They are the ones that actually did the remake of Demon's Souls on PlayStation 5. If you haven't seen it, it is a fantastic looking game, and Blue Point did a fantastic job. So a special shout out to them.
I tell you what, I haven't seen it because I haven't been able to track down a PlayStation 5. Blessed are the few, Henyo, who have a PlayStation 5 in their possession. And I mean, do I miss it personally? No, there's not really anything that I would say I would go run out and buy right now if I had a PlayStation 5. But I still wish I had an actual PlayStation 5 in my possession just in case. But that has not been so. Jeremy in the chat over on the YouTube side says Golden Sun remake on the Switch for the win. Any of you guys know that game? Golden Sun remake.
Okay, well, Golden Sun. Did you ever play Golden Sun back in the day? It was a GBA. It was a GBA game, and it was a fantastic RPG.
Okay.
I don't care if you can. I don't care if you got to emulate the game. Play it. The game is a monster. The story's fantastic. The battle system is great. Play it, please. Jeremy, welcome. Glad you joined us.
I'm gonna have to at least peep that. That's part of my story tonight. I also want to thank, and I started off by saying that in the podcast. Now that it comes to mind, I want to thank the 400 subscribers. I looked at the subscriptions today, and yeah, guys, I know we are on and off with content. The podcast, like I said at the top of the show, we haven't been on since July of this year, and for good reason. But I'm happy. We got to 400. I was like, okay, cool. 400. It's only moving forward from there. But Jeremy says Dark Dad knows my love for this game. So yeah, you're familiar. You're familiar with that.
Well, just so you guys know. Do you remember when we did a podcast and I was telling you guys about Moderately Retro?
Yes, I do. I remember.
Well, welcome, because you are now talking to Moderately Retro.
Yes,
please check
remember.
His channel out on Twitch. He's a good guy. He knows his stuff, and he's a huge Golden Sun fan, and he's a monster at it.
Nice.
Picture a guy that plays Golden Sun like I play Castlevania.
Nice.
So
on a good day, right? Because
now why you got to bring
I just got to put it out there.
I told you I'm still embarrassed by that, man. So don't hurt me too much.
We have our moments. I also want to invite you guys over to our Discord. The link is right on the screen if you want to jot that down and come on over. Like I said, we're a bunch of gray heads, and we're just chatting it up here, guys. What else have we seen in 2021? I know we have not gotten together to actually chat about our gaming, but there's been a lot of gaming going on. That's undeniable. There's been a lot of games that have come out for better or worse again. And it looks like 2022 is stacked. No matter what platform you're choosing to play on, there's going to be a lot to play, but I'm still looking at my backlog. Even now, I have it open, and I'm like, wow, there's stuff that I have not touched. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at now? What are we looking at in our backlog that we at least want to touch? And what are we looking at moving forward in 2022 before it gets added to our backlog?
I'll jump in on this one first.
Go for it.
I think to me, the introduction to Xbox Pass for the PC, I'm a PC gamer, so I always enjoy, playing on the PC, and the fact that I get these Game Pass games now on a PC, I think is an awesome thing for me. I no longer have to, rely so much on Steam for games. I can now just say, okay, let's see what Xbox has to offer on the PC side, and sure enough, they got Age of Empires 4, which I think just came out. So I've been enjoying that. And also just looking into like Steam and its indie games. I've been trying to, not focus so much on so much older games from the Steam library, but looking at games that are indie, new games that are coming out, different types of gameplay, not your run-of-the-mill type of, developers. So that's why I've been putting a lot of these indie games on my wish list on Steam because we got the Steam Deck coming out soon.
Nice, nice.
Well,
So,
can I wait? Can I ask you what games that you're excited about? Because you're saying games, but you ain't gave me a name yet. What you got?
actually, I just picked one up. It's called Dismantle, and basically it's almost like Minecraft, but the gameplay is you have to destroy this. You have to destroy the world. Well, not the world, but like for example, a factory. So you have to sneak into the environment and destroy whatever it is that needs to be destroyed, and then come out. And it's a very simple game. It almost looks like Minecraft. And I was actually streaming it the other day on the Discord channel, and it's just it has almost like a not a three-quarter view, but like a almost like it is like a zoomed in, zoomed out effect. So it looks very cute in a
Mm,
sense. And it looks a lot like Minecraft. That's the only thing, the closest thing I could put it to. But again, you got these tools to destroy your objective and then get out. And I've only played several levels of it, but this is just something completely different that a gameplay that I've never really tried before. And that's what I really want to be involved in 2022, just trying out different type of gameplay that I normally wouldn't touch.
Now, are you still playing your? You still playing Flight Sim, right?
I've put Flight Sim down for a little bit, because it's so convoluted now. So
mm.
I've put that down right now because I literally just got a new toy for Christmas. I got a new flight switch controller there that
Sweet.
that allows me to do autopilot. So I gotta stack that on top of the other tools that I have
Oh
there.
my.
So flight simming now, it's really now a labor of love because now you have to kind of set up, and you have to like really, prepare the deck, so to speak. So
Right.
it's not as simple as, putting in a disc and powering up and hitting start anymore. Now when you flight sim, it's a whole setup. It's a state of a mind state in which you're gonna go into the play. So it's not as simple as just, oh, I'm gonna play today.
Yeah,
You kind of have to go in. I'm
and
going
you've
to
been
fly this
there.
weekend.
And you've been there before. You've been on the simulation side of flight sim, and not just the casual gaming side, if there is one,
It's
with flight
glorious. It's
sim.
beautiful. It's beautiful. I hooked it up to my 4K TV, and I
Mm.
was like, "Whoa, it's nice. Everything looks good." But again, there's a lot of preparation involved if you really flight sim.
Now, Henyo,
Now,
I don't want to miss the moment. You mentioned 4K. You just jumped into 4K because you was on what before?
Oh, I was on a 1080p TV.
Okay, so how was that experience? I mean, it's 2021. I don't anybody and almost everybody who's hearing this has made the change already, but you being on a PC, I'm assuming on a gaming monitor, you had your set resolutions maybe playing at 1440p, whatever it was, but having now a dedicated 4K TV to do some gaming on, how was that? How was that experience for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 1080p 55-inch to a 4K 75-inch is a lot more take in. Like, it's really like you're looking at a lot of screen, right? And
Mm.
and you have to place yourself properly. You just don't want to be all up in it. So, but I did, it did force me to go out and get an HDMI cable and run that cable to my PC and
Mm-hmm.
to my Xbox and
Mm-hmm.
my PS5 and just get it connected and see what it looks like. And
Right.
it's beautiful, man. It's
Right.
really awesome. The refresh rates on it is really nice. I'm really happy. My wife is happy with the TV.
Nice.
You know, we have to yet really see a really good 4K movie,
Mm-hmm.
But I hooked up Flight Simulator to it, and it was an experience. It was really nice, man. I'm
Nice.
glad I
Well,
did it. Definitely
So
worth the investment. And I kept it under $1,800.
Nice.
hey, Henry, you know you showing your age, right? I'm just saying. This brother out here like he just got a CRTV and was like, man, I just got this flat screen.
Yeah.
Yo, this is the best thing ever.
That brother
Watching
hooked.
1080p for a long time, man. It's like, what?
Yeah. That
I
brother hung
skipped
it up.
2K. I went to 4K, man.
Yeah, he hung that up in the living room wall, and he's playing from the kitchen because
What?
75 inches. I mean, yeah, you got to be the right distance from that. So,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Jeremy says in the chat, I don't want to ignore Jeremy, but he had recently said it that Nintendo really got some good things coming now in 2022. He's expecting, hopefully, I'm with you here, Jeremy, that they bring their online service up to snuff. But yeah, you got the new Zelda coming. I believe there's a new Kirby coming. Splatoon, great game if you guys haven't played it on the Switch. But he does go on to say that, mixing between the Switch titles, indie titles, some Diablo threw in there, Diablo 2, excuse me, Halo Infinite, and definitely looking forward to Pokemon Legends. I don't play Pokemon, but yeah. And Starfield, of course, coming later next year, as a matter of fact, exclusive to Xbox. I'm really curious about Starfield and how that's gonna play out. But yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
What company's doing Starfield?
That's from
anybody
Bethesda.
know?
Yeah.
Oh, have you been hearing the? I know we kind of do a little bit of gaming news, but since we're already on it, Activision or not Activision, Ubisoft, they're having a mass exodus of programs right now.
I'm sorry. I'm not. It's a sad day when you hear, because amongst companies, sometimes we look at these industries and these companies and these well-known companies, Ubisoft, EA, Activision, and we just think of the corporate conglomerate, and we forget that there's human beings that compose these companies, and there's casualties all over the place. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's more than unfortunate. We're putting it lightly that Ubisoft is having these problems, and Activision and all these. But you know what? Everything comes to the light, right? And this industry is like other industries as well. If you're not about your business and you ain't doing right, sooner or later it's gonna turn around and bite you in the butt, and you're gonna pay the price. And people unfortunately suffer. People who are trying to feed their families and trying to pursue a career that I would assume they're passionate about. I don't think anyone sits down and says, "Hey, let's make a trash game and invest 5 years of our lives into this, producing trash." But I think that's what we see sometimes.
Hold on. We've been in gaming for how many years, and how many people have produced trash games? And we've been like,
yeah,
trash.
well, like I said,
Come on,
it's almost, I liken it. I don't know. And you guys are married. We have kids. We're raising kids or raise kids or in the process. And the thing is like, I don't think anybody ever has a child and says, "Wow, I'm glad that I have a baby boy, a baby girl. I can't wait to raise them to be a drug dealer." Or to be a thug or a prostitute. Like, you don't do that. I hope not.
I mean, with some of the games that have come out now, it's kind of hard to say if they just be like, "Get out there and make me some money," and they'd be like, "But where the money at, though?"
I mean,
I'll give you an example. How about the latest fail of the new Call of Duty? That was like, everybody's like, "Hey, the new Call of Duty's coming out," and it. Can anybody say we set the trash can on fire, because that game is garbage?
Well, but where is it on the bestseller list? I bet it still made the top of the charts.
Nope.
It's still on top. It's still top 10. It must be.
Nope.
Every single year. No.
Do you know what's number one, right? Do you know? Can anybody tell me the number one game that's outselling everything right now?
Henyo, go ahead, look it up.
I'll tell you. It's Farming Simulator 2022.
Farming Simulator. Well, hey.
Farming Simulator is crushing everything.
Okay. Well, what's according to what metric? I mean,
The sales metric, like it's outselling everything.
That's cool.
And you don't see Madden. And by the way, we got to give our silent
R.I.P.
treatment to John Madden.
R.I.P. That's all he's getting from me. R.I.P. Madden. I ain't know the guy. He ain't throw $1 my way. Yeah, R.I.P. That's about it. I ain't trying to get sentimental about somebody I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, he was a legend, and yeah, they slapped his name on a couple of games, and eventually I fell off Madden. But yeah, there's a following of people who don't even have a clue who John Madden is, and they still purchase the game year after year after year and swore by it. I'm sorry, true. I was and always have been a 2K NFL football player. Before they lost that opportunity.
Can I get an amen on the 2K?
2K, there you go.
Can I get an amen?
Yeah, Jeremy sings the same sentiments as I do. He says, yeah, it's never the employees and the developers. It's always the management that is money hungry, doesn't give the development cycle enough time. It gives the devs a bad image, which you know what? I want to turn this on its head because Henyo says something. I want you guys to talk about that. Indie gaming and the attention that these indie companies have been getting, not only from Microsoft, but from all the platforms, from Nintendo and their indie platform, PlayStation and their indie platform, and how these developers, there's been some great games on the screen right now. You guys are seeing semi-decent gameplay from an indie game, which is phenomenal. It's Death's Door. And if you haven't played it, it's on sale right now. I think on every platform it's having its sale. I used Bing points, so I ain't paying no money.
Cheap.
But not cheap. Frugal is the word.
Look,
and Death's Door is great.
Get over it.
Death's Door is great. And this is an indie game. What games have you guys played that might have slipped off of people's radars or might not be as familiar on any platform that you've played this year that you might want to throw at us?
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight is old.
Yeah, but you know what though? Hollow Knight might be old, but there's still people out there that won't even give it a chance, won't play it. And Hollow Knight is a fantastic game. Well, that and it's a Metroidvania, which I like Metroidvanias, but it's a hard, ridiculous game.
Yeah. What else?
But I'm gonna throw.
What else we got out there? We mentioned Hollow Knight, mentioned Death's Door. I'll tell you of one that comes to mind. If you haven't played it, Blasphemous, and I think they got some more DLC.
Isn't that like that's pretty much a Metroidvania as well?
It's a Metroidvania / like Dark Souls type game. It's a 2D platformer. But the art style on the game itself, it's punishing as far as if you mess up, you're going back to the last place you saved, and enemies respawn and you get to do it all over again. So
oh man, that sounds like Dante's Inferno if anybody's ever played that.
Yeah, but it's a really good game. Henyo, anything you've played on the indie side, or maybe revisit it?
No. This is new to me. This is what I'm getting into now. I had mentioned Dismantled. It's the game is called Teardown.
Okay.
And that's again, I never played indie games. I've always stuck to the highlighted games, the big name industry games. So now this year, this is what I'm looking to dabble in, and Teardown is one of these games.
Now Tom played it. I'm gonna try to push you to play it. Go back and play the original Castlevania, Henyo. Seriously, I want you to go back and play it, Henyo.
Yeah, the original.
Okay. I mean, Tom, you've been getting on it. I have to. and tell them at first you're like, but then when you get into it, you're like, yeah, this game's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, and again, a shout out to the retro gaming. You know, sometimes we grew up with these games, played them when we were at that age, and we didn't really appreciate it for what it was. And now that we're just much more mature, we go back to it and we go, okay, you know, Castlevania is very much a pattern rhythm game like Mega Man as well. Those original Mega Man games, which I enjoy, but they could be frustrating as well. So you know, it's one of those games that you can have a good run and sometimes you don't, and you put it down and you walk away. At least that's what I do.
I would say I had a good run until YouTube said, hey, we want to take everything you work for, crush you, and I had to play it twice, and it took me longer than expected.
Well, that, I mean, it happens. Jeremy says Time Spinner. And I'm looking at Time Spinner. It's now available for download on the Switch, and looks interesting. Time Spinner. It is a Metroidvania, so it falls in that genre as well. If you're interested.
While we're still on Metroidvanias, did anybody even touch Metroid Dread?
You know, I almost picked up Metroid. And I'll tell you guys why. Because I was able to get my hands on an OLED Switch, which I will tell you, the real estate on an OLED Switch, yeah, it's worth it. It definitely worth it.
Wait, so how big is the screen compared to the it's original?
The way that it looks, and it's not like, you're not going to look at it and go, oh my God, this is like twice as big. But when you look at the screen and you look at your original, I had the original, like the first like edition Switch that came out. And it was a difference. There was definitely a market difference. And I was one that I never play handheld. Now all I play is a Switch handheld. I've yet to dock my OLED Switch, and I have an OLED TV, so I can plug it into the dock, play, even though it's 1080 resolution. It's not 4K. It's not 4K on the OLED screen. It's not even 2K 1440 on the Switch OLED screen, but it looks beautiful. And the real estate is nice. The colors pop. And I was just watching a trailer for Metroid, and I said, man, I almost pulled the trigger on it. But here's the thing. I you know, it's still pricey, and I'm not in that situation to buy this game yet. And there's something called, and I know it's a totally different platform, called Game Pass that has spoiled me. Has that happened to anybody here? I don't know.
Yes. Let me ask you something. What would be pricey on a Switch game? Like, what is considered pricey on a Switch game?
Oh, personally, when I look for Switch games, most of the Switch games that I play are not first party games. So I'm not playing like Zelda or the Mario 3D World games or whatnot. I don't run out day one and get none of those games. None. I'm playing mostly indie games on my Switch is what I play. And when I do a search, you can actually customize it to look either for genre or price. And I'll look for games that are $9.99 and under is what I'm looking for if I'm going to purchase something. And I've gotten a lot of games on deep discount under $9.99. And I'm talking about $2.99, $1.99, $4.99. I don't think I've purchased a game at the $9.99 point. I can rattle off some games. I'm gonna turn on my Switch, as a matter of fact. But yeah, if you guys do that from time to time, because there's a lot of games that are buried in the store, and there's no way that you can scroll through the games and find the game catalog that's there. But if you do it by price, they all rise to the top. But yeah.
Well, they always say the cream rises to the top. but I want to. You were asking about pricing on Switch games, Henyo, and be honest with you, it's the same thing as any other game that you're going to buy out here. I think max price is $59.99 for a Switch game, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like just like anything else, especially with Nintendo, just know what you're gonna buy.
I
You
mean,
know,
with
'cause
with anything. I mean, look,
yeah,
I'm gonna read off to you guys what I have on my Switch currently. I have Cuphead for the Xbox. I purchased that game. But Cuphead on the Switch, I paid I think I got it on a deep sale like $4.99.
get out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Outrun, Sega Ages. I think I got that for like what, $2.99 or something like that. Blasphemous was less than $9.99 when I purchased it. I got Moonlighter, the complete edition. That's a fleshed out RPG game. I'm sure Jeremy in the chat knows about this game, but I got the complete edition just the other day for like $6.99, I think it was. Another indie game called In Between, The Great Perhaps, Ease Origin. I got that for less than $9.99. I can't tell you exactly how much it was, but it was less than $9.99. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That was less than $9.99. Phantasy Star, a classic, an old but goodie, less than $9.99. Those are from the Sega Ages. The Castlevania Anniversary Collection and the Castlevania Advance Collection. And another game that I have here, Battle Princess Madeline, which is kind of like a Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins. And all of these games less than $9.99. And when I mean less than $9.99, I'm talking about $4.99, $3.99. I can rattle off some more that I have in the cloud, like Bastion, which is an old game, but that's a really good game as well, and so on and so forth. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah, there's a lot of gems,
yeah.
gems. That's
I'm
how I
looking for
approach
this
my
right
Switch.
now. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
looking. I'm online on the website, and
Mm-hmm.
they allow you to browse.
Yep.
Yeah,
are you?
there's a lot of games there. $1.99. I mean, I've been scrolling now,
Yep.
and I'm still on the 1.99.
Yep. Yep.
Haven't
Yeah.
even reached 2.99 yet.
Yeah. If you specifically put it for between free and $9.99, you're gonna get hundreds of
Yeah.
games. Um. And you know, and games like Mario versus Rabbids and Super Mario 3D. I have those games, but I did not run out and purchase them full price day one. I just didn't feel compelled to do that.
Well,
So
I gotta. While we're talking about this, and we're on the digital age, I want to ask you guys a question. This one's on me. Do you think? How long do you think it's going to take for physical media to disappear from gaming?
it's not gonna disappear. I don't think it'll ever disappear.
Yeah. I picked up a couple of physical games this Christmas. Actually,
Mhm.
two or three of them actually.
Mhm.
Granted, I try to jump on some digital deals, but nah, physical will still be there, man.
Yep.
I mean, even if
You
they're
think
gonna,
so?
they're gonna be marquee games. You're not just gonna start finding run of the mill games.
You,
You know,
you, you,
physical.
you, think, you think so? Because as you pay attention, physical copies are becoming more limited as the years go by. So, like, if you're going to be buying physical copies, I recommend you buy a physical and you buy digital. If you're going that way, because especially for Nintendo, like the Mario 3D Sunshine, if you can find that physical, that game's going to be ridiculously expensive. Probably about another 10 years from now. Same
Yeah.
thing with Nintendo.
I can't find my Division disc, and I went looking for it.
Oh my God, why you got to
I
bring
saw it in
Division into this?
Walmart for like $4.99.
I know, right?
The
This
disc.
is so lazy right
I
now.
cannot find that game physically nowhere.
Yeah, Walmart has it.
Yeah, right.
Man.
Yeah,
Nah,
Walmart has it.
you need to, as they say, you need to go ahead, bite the bullet, man up, and
Yeah.
just purchase the game.
And you know what, Jay? I'm gonna speak to what you were just saying right now, just a little bit, because we've had the discussion about digital media and physical media and all that other stuff. This is the thing. I think I have a sense of how these companies are presenting. Like right now, PlayStation is all about you're going to pay us $60 for a hard copy game or digital. Either way, you're going to give us $60. That's it. Are they working on something like Game Pass? Yes, because that's a no-brainer, and that's not a secret. They've been talking with Microsoft for years, and they're going to be using the Azure cloud and all that good stuff. So that's in the works. That's eventually going to come. They're porting their games over to PC, some of their first-party exclusive older titles. So all of that, they're going to go through their evolution. But I'm not going to allow myself to be trapped by a game developer or console to say, hey, we're doing a limited run of whatever, Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, and if you don't get it between now and the end of the year, we're gonna throw it in the vault like Disney does with their movies, and you won't see it until your grandkids are your age. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Right now, I never thought I would be in a place, and you guys chime in with me on this. I never thought I'd be in a place where right now I have my backlog open. I don't have all my games up on the screen, but I'm looking at stuff that I'm like, oh my God, I never played that game. I got that game. I purchased that game. I own this game, but I never played it. And it's here. Plus I have a Game Pass, a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. And I'm like, what's the difference? I have a backlog that I haven't played, and then I have Game Pass Ultimate before me that keeps pumping games into a system that I'm never going to be able to reach and touch all of those games. I mean, we're on both sides now. We're being squashed right in the middle with games, which drives me nuts to personally hear people ranting and raving about when's the next game coming out? When's the next game coming out? Like, developers should have unlimited amount of times to develop their games, release full games, release quality games, release games that don't need continual patching. If it's going to take you 6, 7, 8, 10 years, do it, because in my opinion, my humble opinion, we have a lot of games to play. A lot of games.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, Call of Duty's like it's like that to me. It's like I still got Cold War, which I started the campaign. I haven't even gotten through the first chapter of it, and they're over here with Vanguard. I'm like, how is that humanly possible? How could you run through a series so year in and year out? Give it time to marinate. Give it time to dispel. It's just, content creators need fresh content, right? And these developers are just appeasing to these content developers. They're just saying, here's the latest Call of Duty. Here, play it. Enjoy it. Do what you have to do with it, but just keep creating it. Keep it on the forefront of everyone's tongue when you're streaming.
Right.
And there is a plethora. I'm sitting here myself, and I'm looking at great games, and I'm like, you know what? I am gonna sit down and play that game. I don't need to be playing Call of Duty right now.
Right.
And God, we just spoke about how I just finished BioShock Remastered, the first one. I went back and I took and I enjoyed myself in that game. I didn't have to play BioShock. I played that game. I finished the whole series, but I went back and I said, you know what? Let me indulge in the remastered version and let me take it in. And I'm gonna do the same for other games that are gonna, that are out right now. It's just not right now. I'm not in such of a rush to get to them, to play them, and to, finish them. It's like, let me enjoy what I have right now, and this is what I'm hoping that the new year allows developers to just say, you know what, we don't need to rush this out the door. Let's just, let's set it up properly. We got the hardware.
Yeah.
I think you're making too much sense. But I also think that advice won't be taken because developers still ain't learned. That's why we're getting games that need a day one patch or games that come out and you're like, I was hype. And now you're like, nope. And we talking new technology and they still ain't figured it out yet.
Well,
so I think you're giving them a little too much credit.
And I think, Jay, developers developers, and we're generalizing, developers
True.
will learn when us as consumers, stop chasing every last shiny thing that comes out. Because this demo just dropped for on Unreal Engine 5, and I want to just touch on what Jeremy said. He agrees that Moonlighter is fantastic. You guys haven't played it, play it. Yeah, there are lots of deals that you can track down in the store. The list is endless, but let me tell you guys, I just downloaded this Matrix Resurrection Unreal Engine 5 experience, right? The Matrix Awakens, okay? And I mean, people were raving about it. Oh, yo, this is like lifelike, and I threw it up on my screen and played it. And I was like, wow, it does look pretty. I can't tell who's the actor, who's the NPC, which is computer generated, which one is not. I mean, there's a blend, and there's stuff definitely there that's pushing technology, our current technology today. Never mind how it's going to look in the next 2, 3, 4 years, and the lifespan of these current machines that we have now. But then I stepped back from it and I said to myself, do I really want to play a game that looks this real? Like I'm in a movie and I'm just another character in a movie. And when I me personally started peeling back the layers of this slice of a demo of a concept, I quickly got bored with it and said, nah, not for me. I was like, it's nice, it's eye candy, but I would be just as happy playing, I don't know, Lego Star Wars. To be honest with you, I have more fun playing that.
That's a bold statement.
And that's not a knock. Or let me say one of my favorite indie games, Inside. Have you guys heard of that game? Inside. It's a beautiful game. It's the same people that developed the game Limbo. It's a linear game. It is a beautiful game. It's only going to take you a couple of hours. You can beat it in one sitting. Either Limbo or Inside, made by the same people. But those games, I'd rather play those games in their simplistic nature and whatever than The Matrix Awakens Unreal, where everything looks, real. And that's just my take on it. Like, I don't need the bells and whistles and all that other stuff. But this is the stuff that's coming now. And I don't know, but this year, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I've been doing a lot of looking back and going back. Maybe not as far as Jay with retro gaming, but I've been going back and playing a lot of my older games in my catalog and enjoying them. I don't know where you guys are. Where are you with that?
I'll let you take this one, Henyo.
Henyo mentioned BioWare.
Yeah, and for that I lean on my PC gaming, because that's where I kind of got my Steam library at, and that's where most of my games kind of queue up at. So I'll take a quick look down my path here. I'm looking at games that I just wonder about, like Commando, Company of Heroes.
Oh, wow.
These are older games that I really like.
Yeah.
And then there's just like one-offs that I've never really played, like Door Kickers, Empire of Sin,
Wow.
Everspace, that I really want to check out. Like I've always they've always struck a chord. Like I would play that game. I have Little Nightmares here.
Little Nightmares is fantastic. I beat Little Nightmares. It's really good game. You'll like it a whole lot. Yep.
This War of Mine is a game that I constantly
Oh,
go back to. Stalker. I mean, there's just so many titles that I have queued up that I really want to go back to. But timing. You gotta slice up your time.
yep.
There was some new games out that just came out, so you gotta decide. All right, what am I gonna play? You,
Yeah.
you really have to decide. And also for me, I enjoy playing with my friends. You gotta be online at the right time to play a certain game. So, like Halo Infinite, I wanted to play Halo Infinite, but it just felt like anyone in my friends list
Mm,
was not playing this game.
mm.
Is it me? Is it the game? What's happening? Do I have the wrong friends? Do I need to play more multiplayer and
Wow.
add friends?
Yeah.
It was so much hype about Halo. It was
Yeah.
just like, where's everybody at? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Well,
I was on that Halo multiplayer because that was the first thing that they released, and I did not again. I did not get caught up in the drama. People talking about the skins in the store and the this and the that. I was like, wait, this gameplay, it's fun, it's solid, it's not perfect, but I wouldn't know what perfect looks like anyway. I'm having fun, and as long as I'm winning, I'll play. And when I'm getting my butt handed to me, I'll put the game down and walk away for a little while. That's how I approach it. But yeah, and I know you was playing, and I dabbled in Back for Blood as well. But like you said, you have to have your friends playing that game at the same time with you in order for you to get some enjoyment. That's why I'm looking at this game. What is it from the Bethesda Arcane Studios? Redfall. It's supposed to be a 4-player game, kind of vampire-ish game. I don't know. I don't know the details, but you guys who have heard of it, that's piquing my interest. But a lot of the games that I play personally, I've been playing on my own. I've gone back to a game called Astroneer. I don't know if you guys have even heard of that game.
isn't that the like a little shooter kind of game?
Check it out. Astroneer is kind of like and I don't play Minecraft or Roblox, but it is in that vein, in that genre, Astroneer. That's kind of space
Man.
exploration. You're a little astronaut and you're building bases and traveling to different planets. It's pretty good. I uploaded The Witcher 3, and I'm gonna jump back into that universe. Just because the game is just so awesome. And so I find joy in that, but I try not to block myself off from touching, and I've said this before, touching games that I have in my catalog that I at least want to be able to say, hey, I opened that file, and I have an idea what that game is. And if it catches my attention, great, I'll play it and hopefully see it through. And if not, I played it for what it is for the time that I did, and I keep it moving. Jeremy says the GTA trilogies were terrible, and they just suffered the same. These companies releasing these half-done projects, slapping the name of remastered on them, and they're just playing off of people's nostalgia / hunger for the sequel.
Well,
But rehashing things, and
well,
yeah,
let's call it what it is. It's a money grab, and companies haven't had really any original ideas to really push that people want to bite on. Now, you asked earlier, and I should have opened my mouth while I wasn't thinking. But since we're talking about, we kind of got back to remastered. I want to go ahead and say the game I'm waiting on is Dead Space Remastered.
mm-hmm.
And if you can go on YouTube and you can go see the gameplay and some of the effects that they've done, and they got my money.
Yeah, they already got your money.
Oh nah, dude, I'm already sitting there like, here you go,
Yeah.
man. Just take it.
Yeah.
I ain't even mad at you. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
they got to do better than that. I think the gaming industry is lazy. If you really want me to be real about it.
Well, I think, and I think I'm with Henyo in this evening. I think we need to dive towards the indie space. I just checked out a game called Nobody Saves the World. There's an actual demo on Xbox. Go check that out. I found it hilarious. I'm not even gonna tell you what genre the game falls in or anything. It's called Nobody Saves the World, and it was charming right from jump. And I put about 2 hours into the game. And that may not seem like a lot, but it was that engaging, and I played it and I was like, okay, this is cool. I like the concept. I like the idea. Am I going to play the whole game through? No. But I like it. It was fun. An old game that I have that I never touched and I just touched the other day, which looks great, plays great, Rise and Shine. And I believe that's on the Switch platform as well. Rise and Shine, check that out. That's another small game you can probably sit and just beat. It's a little challenging to where I got to. Sea of Solitude, Shady Part of Me. The list goes on and on and on. And these games that I'm naming, I've actually played. So I'm not just rambling off games and telling you, hey, go play this, and I don't have a clue what the games are. But which brings me to this. If you've been listening thus far and you've made it this far, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I just want to give a brief explanation right in the middle, smack in the middle of this conversation that we're having. Yeah, we did not do podcast since July. The long and short, COVID caught me in mid-August, really towards the end of August. I got really ill, and I'm on the recovering end of COVID now. But you know what? There's always a bright side and a positive to everything. At least I believe it to be that way, and it's caused me to look at life from a not so serious point of view as I used to carry myself before. I laugh a lot now, more than I've ever done in my life, and appreciate things more now. Since I was told I almost keeled over and died. But I had no sense that that's what I was at death's door, knocking. But thankfully, no, Grim himself didn't come and answer. And so we're here, man. And whatever we share, whatever we speak about, we're just speaking from a place of, hey, gaming is a part of our life. It is not the center of our world and the center of our being. And I hope that moving forward in 2022, at least in our gaming, even if we look at the gaming horizon and we say, dang, there ain't nothing new, or this sucks, or when is the new thing coming out, or whatever, I hope that we don't stop there. I hope that we can add something to it by saying, hey, maybe it'll be better, or it can go in a better direction if maybe this is thought of, or maybe this is considered, or even by you exposing yourself to a game that maybe you picked up and you love and you had enjoyment. When I got out of the hospital, you don't know, guys, how much time and how intimate I got with my Switch. It was the only gaming and the only device that I could really manage. It was so accessible there in my hands. I didn't have to, plug in a TV and get a controller and change out batteries and nothing. It was just turned it on, and I played a lot on my Switch. Something I hadn't done in quite some time. And I picked up a bunch of Sega Ages games. I picked up a bunch of indie games, and my gaming on the Switch, on the Nintendo platform, expanded. And especially in that indie realm. And I was appreciative for that. I said, wow, this is a great platform. It's way different from Game Pass, way different from what PlayStation is doing, way different from PC, but it has its niche. And I can see why there's people that are completely enamored with the ecosystem. And it saw me again through some times where At times I didn't even have the strength literally to get up, or I would be up after about 2-3 hours of sleep and just focusing on literally breathing. And I would just turn on, my Switch and pop on the old school Castlevania, the first one, and try to figure that out. Or I would be on Steam World Dig. That's a game that comes to mind. I would be playing that and just having a lot of fun. And basically, I think that's the heart of all of this, having fun on these platforms. And I'm looking forward to 2022 and the gaming that's coming on all these platforms. But I don't think I'm done with 2021 or 2020 or 2019 or for that matter 2015. There's a lot of games that I have that are still in my backlog and I want to touch and I want to play. And I know you guys are there with me as well. So what say ye? 2021 is coming to an end here in 2 days, 1 day. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. What are we going to carry out with us into the next year, if anything, as far as on the gaming scene? Is there anything that's carrying over, or are we just gonna just completely jump into something brand new? What's the talk?
Well, can I, before I answer that question, can I share a little bit of what happened to me and then
Sure,
move on, if
go
that's
for it.
okay? Very few people know this. End Time does. Henyo, I don't think you do. This year has been one hell of a bad year for me. I've lost family members because of COVID. I lost my brother. I lost my nephew. I caught COVID. Luckily, it didn't, lay me down like it had a lot of people. I survived it and pushed through it, and I'm here and gaming in a sense, believe it or not, for a while, I didn't game very often. I couldn't wrap my head around gaming. I didn't want to think about gaming. I was stuck in a lot of depression because I just, I lost when you're going through stuff like that, it's really hard to focus on the things that you love, and it's really hard to really give your all to things that I've loved for the past, 3 decades. But as, the healing began and I got back into gaming and, you know, Jeremy or Modelly Retro, he talked to me a little bit. End Time was he had my back and I was there for him when he was laid out. Um I've come back to gaming and I'm really getting back into it again and announcing in front of the whole world. I know none of y'all, either whether you like me or you don't, is cool, but I am going to be doing a Twitch channel to piggyback off the podcast. And I will, hopefully everybody will be there. And what I'm looking forward to 2022. Um, I'm not going to say normacy because that's done and over with now. There is no such thing as normacy anymore. The new norm is what we have today. I've accepted it. I'm happy now. I've moved forward. I'm in a better place. And these companies, y'all need to get your heads out of your asses and give me some games that makes me want to get back into it again. Otherwise, my happy ass is gonna be sitting right here playing retro until you can deliver.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
You ain't got to be a butthole about it, man.
Yes, I do.
I mean, you are what you are. I ain't mad at you.
I am what I am, and I can't be nothing else. What about you, Henyo? What are you either bringing into the from gaming from the old year into the new, or are we cutting ties and looking just strictly at 2022?
One of the hardest things for me to ever say is, for me to cut down on gaming. sometimes this is what keeps me, kind of going and keeps me, sane, so to speak. I know it's more of just washing yourself out from society or from what's going on in the world, but what's happening out there, in my view, is just it's just overwhelming and overbearing, especially in the political field for me in my eyes. So, I think something for me to just, refocus and prepare like maybe a different chapter of my life to bring change. Um, gaming will never change for me. I don't think I've always been, the person that loves gaming, no matter what type of gameplay it is. But on a personal self level, I think change needs to happen for myself and 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 f- and for the position that I'm at, and that's really tough, for me to say because I'm not the changing type. I like things to be the same all the time,
Mm.
but I need this later half of the year particularly really struck me to that I need to bring this change to my life and just for my over mental health, to feel good about where I'm at and to bring my family with me to to something better than what you know I've been dealing with in this year for sure.
Yeah.
um, the gaming will always be there, and but sometimes you just have to put it to the side and try to draw the ivory to change.
Yeah.
Hey, Henyo, if you want to make a change, how about you get some of that just for men hair coloring to get that gray out of there? That's
This
what you need
guy's
to do.
If I need to bring change, I gotta look at the mirror, the man on the mirror.
a bunch of clowns.
Cue up that Michael Jackson song for me.
Talking about the man in the mirror.
uh, well, I'm glad we laughing and not crying. I mean, it would be kind of sappy, but
Well, you,
oh man, oh man, I'm thankful. I'm thankful, and yeah, I echo both of you guys' sentiments. But yeah, you never know how or who is gonna be around the corner waiting to just slap you upside your head and turn your world around. And sometimes, yeah, we do ask for change, but uh we change involuntarily when we have no choice but to change. And that's just reality. Video games have always been that therapy session, escapism, fun, another way to have camaraderie and fellowship and brotherhood, etc., etc., etc. But it's exactly that. It's gaming at the end of the day, and there's a lot to put our hands on. I would be remiss to mention, if anybody's a Sonic fan out there, not only that new movie coming out, which I'm gonna see, which I thought the first Sonic was really good. I think Jim
I haven't
Carrey
seen
carried
the,
that movie.
I
I saw
haven't
the
even
trailer today.
seen the first
You
Sonic
need to
yet.
see it. It's a really good, it's good. I'm not gonna say really good, but it's a good video game movie.
Yeah.
Um, it's a good video game movie. And Sonic Generations, which is in my backlog for the 360, has gotten that bump in resolution and frame rate. If you're playing on a Series S or a Series X, to talk about the Series S at the time of this recording, a day before New Year's Eve, in 2021, I walked into Walmart today and saw over 15 Xbox Series S machines available. So at least that is out. And it made me wonder, wow, I wonder how many people picked up an Xbox Series S just because it was available, and a subscription to Game Pass if it wasn't already boxed in there, and they made some kid somewhere a lifetime Xbox gamer. Because what a gift. Can you imagine? I mean, if you would have gotten a game console and a subscription that allows you over 200 plus games the moment you click it on
Mm.
back in the
Well,
day,
I wish I wish
well,
Nintendo would offer that.
well,
man.
well, you, Well, you know, back in our time, and man, I sound old for this. Christmas morning, you saw that SNES with the zapper, the red and the gray. Man,
That
you
was it. You was
lost
gonna
your
play Duck
mind.
Hunt all day, all night.
Man, you would and don't get me started on the trackpad with the track meet and the
Yeah.
Mario and the Duck
But
Hunt. I
but
mean,
but unless you was in a well-to-do, or you was having a good Christmas, you was only gonna play like one game, the game
yeah, at
that it
least
came packaged in with.
for a long time. So
Yeah,
you youngins out there, you people that didn't come up in the 80s and the 90s
yeah,
and the 70s, you guys got it gravy.
yeah. Not now. You give an Xbox. You can OG Xbox, okay, which I wouldn't recommend, because I went to GameStop and they want as much for an Xbox One S than like $20 less that you would pay for an Xbox Series S brand new. And I'm like, I think these people are just trying to confuse people and trying to get over on people. But anyways, that's my opinion. But you can pick up a box and pick up Game Pass, and I don't care who's out there who argue with me. Game Pass is the gaming thing, and have access to over 200 games, and I mean, it's just
Me
it's
too, man.
crazy.
They showing love on the PC.
Yeah, an Ultimate on
I'm,
the PC, exactly.
There
Yeah,
I'm
there are
here.
many
They got me.
yep.
there in today's modern age, there are many ways to game, from Xbox to PlayStation to PC to emulation. No matter how you want to do it, is out there. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your gaming. That's what it's here for. To help you, to save you,
Mhm.
to introduce you to new people. I met both of these guys gaming. I've met a lot of people, you know, through gaming, whether it be arcades, going over to a friend's house. Yo, we got this new Street Fighter. Come over here and let's rock out. Cool. That's my boy getting punched. I mean, gaming has done a lot and is only going to continue to evolve no matter what I say. Fact of the matter is, gaming will never stop. So, you know, you people that are taking over gaming in the future, if you hear this message, I hope that you appreciate what you got, because I ain't had it like this, but I hope you enjoy it and take it on further to the future and make it better.
Amen. Didn't he sound like he was like preparing like some sort of space capsule or something and a recording, and he was just gonna like
Why,
he
why you
sounded like he
got to
was
be like
exiting
that?
Earth or something. I don't know. I'm just messing with you, man.
The final frontier.
Yeah. I think to
Jesus.
to wrap this up, guys, because I don't want to get long in the tooth, and we've
Yeah.
talked a lot and talked so little. Yeah, we did not go into a review of the games of this year. I am very well aware of it. The reality is that there was so much gaming news that, and better than to rehatch it or try to rehatch it on a podcast, it's ridiculous. News comes at us all the time, every time. And if that's your scene, there's a lot of content out there on that. But I do want to wrap it up with looking at 2022, and I mean, just here in 2 more days, we're gonna be starting January, and there's gonna be a plethora of games. Is there anything that you're looking forward to in this 2022, or would like to see? Maybe something announced, something not announced, something on your wish list. I want to end it on a high note. Since we already talked about retro and the games we're playing and stuff that we're going back to and stuff, even if it's a shot in the dark,
Mm.
what would you like to see maybe show its face here in 2022?
I want to see Sony compete with Game Pass, but with all of their old titles that people want to play, but Sony keep, you know, they keep bullshitting about it. So
Mm.
Sony, if you hear this, do a PlayStation Game Pass. People will come and play it. I will. I'll be there. Y'all got some good titles. Make it happen.
I agree with you. That's a good one, and I think that's in the works. I think it'll be a slow rollout, but just seeing their games on PC, some of their older titles, is encouraging. And they're about making that money. So, what about you, Henyo? Or I don't know. Anything else, Jay, that you want to add to that?
Nah, I'm a lead at the day. I think I done got a little long winded. The
Okay.
Sandman is kind of looking in the window at me.
Okay. That man's already laid out on his couch. He's talking about Sandman.
Man, why you got to be there? Go
He's
ahead,
stretched
Henyo.
out.
Take over, Henyo.
There's just so many games right now that honestly, I can't wish for more. Anything else, I mean, you're just adding to the pile. Just need to sit down and play some of these games and enjoy the value of it. I'm not looking forward to anything new coming out of anything. I just want to indulge in some of the stuff that I have, literally.
All right, so your plate is your plate is full and your cup runneth over.
It really does.
Yeah.
I can't complain about everything that I have and just have queued up. I'm okay with the lineup of 2022 that I have.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
literally have a queue of games that I'm ready to play like now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you and I and Jay are in the same boat, at least for us. And I think we talk from time to time, and we kind of sort of say it this way, but I think we get to a point in our gaming career or experience that from time to time we go back to the games that we love and are familiar with, and kind of like comfort food. We go back to it and we find enjoyment in those things, and then not as often, but something might come out that catches our attention, and we go and we play and we enjoy it, and then we kind of settle right back into our to our familiar territory and our familiar ground. But yeah, I have games that I want to go and go back to and play. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, I just thought of that today as I was hearing people chatting about when's the next Star Wars game coming out and blah blah blah, and EA has a contract and this and that, and I'm like, Jedi Fallen Order, I still haven't played that. So I'm gonna go back and hopefully get a chance to play that game, and another game called The Surge. And I'm throwing these games out here, guys, because you probably heard of them, didn't play them, they got lost in the shuffle, or maybe you did and just like me, they're in your catalog or on Game Pass and you just don't pay them no mind. But The Surge is another game that is great. I played for a while and would love to go back and play that for a bit. But yeah.
I wish I was like that with Metro.
The only Metro game that I have not finished is Metro Exodus, the last one. And I wish
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I purchased it.
That would be a good Steam Deck game to play.
I enjoyed the other two, and for whatever reason, I don't know why. And I even purchased Metro Exodus, and I don't know why. I always started and put a good maybe 10, 15 hours, and then I put it down. And the same with the Halo Infinite. I started the campaign and put like 2-3 hours into it, and it didn't grip me, and I put it down. And that never happened to me with Halo. I usually played Halo straight through. I still gotta play Gears 5, finish that campaign. Haven't finished that campaign at all, and that game is how old? 3 years, 4 years old already.
Right. I went on a mission going through the Gears of Wars. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Well,
I might join you on that combat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've yet to finish up the last one. So,
but didn't me and you go through a Gears of War tangent a while ago? We did.
No, we were doing Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
and
That's
we're like
right.
on Halo 3 right now, I
Yeah,
believe.
we gotta get back into that.
Yeah, we were doing the co-op campaign because I finished all of those Halos single player by myself, but not on co-op. But yeah, you want to play that that Gears 5 and maybe set a time and make a couple of appointments and go through it together. I'm down to just go push each other through it. And we
For
can play that
sure.
last one. That'd be
That's a
great.
series that I want to end. Like it's like
Yeah,
Uncharted to me. It's like okay,
yeah.
just it was a good story. Put an end to it.
Yeah, same here. That's how I feel about Gears. Like I want to just finish this Gears and get it on my checked off list. And that's it. But other games, guys, and we're wrapping this up. But other games like unfortunately like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, The Division, these games that I found enjoyment in, I'm more weary as time goes on to even play games that remotely resemble this type of genre because of the time investment. And I just feel like I don't want a game that's going to consume me in that manner that's going to keep me away from at least exposing myself to a lot of other games that I'm sure I'll find enjoyment in. So, but that could be a topic for another day and we can revisit that. Ori and the Blind Forest. Oh my gosh. I gotta play that game. I beat the first one.
All right, brother. I know you trying to keep talking, but you
I
keep saying
know.
you want to shut it down.
I know, and you're asleep already, and my soothing voice doesn't help. But guys, thank you for everything, for tuning in. Jeremy, if you're still here, thank you for tuning in. Henyo, appreciate you, Jay. We'll definitely get back on these mics. Have something a little bit more structured. But we just want to just get back on here and kind of like rev up the engines again. And make sure that everything is functional. But I'll let you guys close us out before I hit the theme music. Speak your piece, Jay. Speak your piece, Henyo, and we'll shut it down.
2022 is a new year. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. The world is no joke. So just be safe, everyone. And always remember, it's your time, it's your money. And I don't give a damn what nobody say. You want to shut a company down? Don't buy this shit.
There you go.
True. Yeah, no doubt, man. I wish everybody a good new year. We'll see you again, hopefully. And, game on. Keep playing games.
All right, guys. Stay safe. Be good. Do good. Have a great 2021 and an even more excellent 2022. We'll catch you on the other side. Remember to keep your gaming and your life drama-free. Later, people.